The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
Always pushing help, well, better understanding self. So they just released today that the Epstein files, there's no list. It's case closed. There's nothing to, put their energy and time into. And this has a lot of people scratching their head like this seems very unusual. Okay. I think that it seems like it's a cover-up. And this is what everybody's calling out. This is a big topic right now with Epstein and flying the children out to the island. It's just tough to even think about and to bring up. But we're going to get to it because it's a lot of backdoor corruption that's done in politics. And they like to hold us accountable with things that we do, but then there's no accountability held with things that they do. And I say this on my channel a lot. This is spilling over from us not holding them accountable from things that was happening in the 20s, 30s, the 60s, the 80s, with the CIA and the cocaine and the construct. It's no accountability, so we just seeing people just push the goalposts. But they are saying there's nothing to dig deep into. I'm going to let this lady explain, and I'm going to give my opinions. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get it.
DOJ and FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable. And I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the president's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
Sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Go
ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Okay, so check it. I'm going to bring up some weird coincidences that happening with the DOJ in this Epstein files case. Okay, number one, they just released the camera footage of Epstein's cell where he was being held at. And they're saying that, hey, here's the footage. I seen some of it on Twitter. I didn't watch all of it, but they're claiming that It was nobody that entered his cell, so no one could have took him out. He had to do this to himself. That was just unusual right now because they said that the cameras was malfunctioning, back in 2019. So it's like now 6 years later, it's kind of weird. Another weird coincidence is that he committed suicide. It's just another weird one. A lot of people don't believe that. They believe that because of the high profile people that he was associated with, that number one, he was a fall guy. But number two, they didn't want their names associated with his. And it's been a lot of big names associated with that. So it's just, that's what makes a lot of people feel like this suicide is made up. Then it's, you never released the names. You always said you had the names. The names was coming out, and now it's no names. And that is the most alarming part. It's like, I think you're just playing on the American people's intelligence. It's like anybody with common sense could say that. 2 or 3 things happen here, right? It's either that the big names bought it to where they said, hey man, they paid the people off to where don't say that you didn't find anything. It was enough money, it was enough power to protect the people who was involved. 2, Trump could have something to do with that. Now, Elon Musk did put out some kind of, I think it was last month. It was like, the real spoiler is that Trump is on the Epstein's files, and he said that in June 2025. So Trump could have something to do with it, and he could be trying to deflect it and get his name out of there. Oh well, okay. And I think those are the 2 cases. Or number 3, that it really just wasn't nothing. They were just bluffing with the names anyway, and it really wasn't no names. Everything was what it was. But I'm going with the first 2 more than the last one. That's just my opinion, but I want to know what y'all think about this. All right. You think Trump was down with Epstein for real, like really down, or you think it was, he said he met him a couple times. There was some photos I seen, man, more than 3 or 4 times that Trump been with Epstein. Now, that's how Hollywood works, though. You take pictures with people, you be like, you don't know who it is. I can't answer for it, but I'm just, in his defense. But I still feel like something spooky is going on. Even with the Diddy, I feel like Diddy was another guy who they used, probably like Epstein, in my opinion. But I want to know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have 3 things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.